Welcome. What a great time together. Is that right, ladies? It's a great time together, isn't it? We are excited about our guests that are here. We're excited about all of you. Why don't we open up this time together with prayer, please? Okay? Father, you are such a loving God, and we are so grateful to have the opportunity to serve you and to follow you. We ask for your blessing on this time together. We are excited about the future, about the things to come. And we invite you to be a part of that as we do all the time. Be with us this day. Help us to enjoy the moment and to get excited about another year. In Jesus' name, amen. We will get this started. Dr. Redwine will come up and kind of give you an outlay of the whole procedure that went into hiring our new coach and his family. And then he will introduce Dr. Newman, our president, to come and introduce our new coach. So, Mike?
Thank you, and thank you all for being here. It's really honored and humbled to be a part of the process as we were considering in those days of, well, what we needed a coach and what will the process be. Dr. Newman talked to me about heading up the committee, so we began to talk about who would serve on that committee. And I want to just real quickly run down through that list and thank them for their hours of service as we began to narrow down a very large group of names that I'll talk about in just a second. One, our Associate VP for Student Success, Misty Jaggers. I think these people are here, but we don't necessarily need to applaud, but I just want to give you some context. She's here. Worthy of applause. I mean, at the end, you certainly, we can thank them. But our Associate Dean of Students, Katie Bradley, our Director of Human Resources, Gail Collier, our Associate Athletic Director and Senior Woman Administrator, Tammy Eichard, SNU alumnus and a member of our University Athletic Advisory Committee, Danny Thomason, Assistant Professor in the School of Kinesiology, Stephanie Schellenberger, Executive Administrative Assistant for Student Success, Michelle Mullins, and Director of Advancement Strategy and the SNU Fund, Michael Houston. There were others, but let me just kind of start off to say, so we opened the position up. We did some shoulder tapping as well, and I went and looked at every successful women's program that I could find in the country at the college level, and I asked their head coach if you'd be interested in this position. So that certainly generated some interest, but we posted it on some national coaching sites. We posted it on the Christian College and University site. We posted it obviously internally on our own SNU job board. And from that, about 60 individuals completed all of the materials to become a qualified applicant. So we met, and as you can imagine, even to go through all of those materials, they typically ranged, when you say all the application itself and those kind of things, around 20 pages or so of materials on each one of these individuals. So it took a little time to go through that. So the committee met. We narrowed it down to 5 people, and we end up, from that group of semifinalists, we did a Skype interview with 4 of those. And so that was my first exposure to Coach May, even though I'd heard a lot about him and I had sensed his interest. 3 of those individuals we brought to campus for an in-person interview. At that point, Dr. Blair Spindle also spent time with them, and I appreciate our university pastor, Blair, being a part of that. And then we had a group of coaches. Coach Bohach was part of each one of those 3 on-campus interviews. Coach Weber and Coach Ingram were also involved in that, and I appreciate their part in this process. Let me just say that as I kind of shared with them, their part of it was really more for the applicant's benefit. So that the applicant could ask our current coaches about our culture on campus and the athletic department and what they would see about maybe women's athletics and women's basketball specifically. But each group had something specific that they were looking for. And I just want to comment a little bit on that. So they also all met, of course, with our university president, Dr. Newman. I asked Dr. Newman to look for live last leaders. And those of us that have been around campus and have heard Dr. Newman speak know about that, and how putting others before ourselves is something that's not just a commandment, it's the way we want to live our lives, it's the way we want to coach people. And so that was a big part of what we had asked of Dr. Newman. When Bobby and Tammy met with the applicants, obviously they were looking for fit, they were looking for, could this person be an NCAA coach, which not all the applicants of that 60 had that type of experience, but would they fit here in our athletic department? So that was a part of their role. Certainly Blair was looking for fit spiritually on our campus, and this is something that we're not planning on changing anytime soon, and we want someone that can live transparently in front of our student athletes. And so Blair was that was a part of his. It's interesting, I won't get all the way down into the weeds, but if I'd say the committee, we had a lot of things. Certainly we were looking big picture, but there's something that Dr. Newman put me on to at the beginning of the fall. Humility is one of the kind of foundational parts of what we were looking for in a leader. I was thinking earlier today, it was actually during chapel, which was fantastic today, those that were there, but I put a note in my phone that said, bleed crimson. And I'm not talking about someone that had the experience to hear previously, as Coach May does, but someone when they came here would love this place so much and love our student athletes so much that it literally was, they were bleeding crimson, that it was a commitment to place. And as you know, that in this profession, you certainly can find people that are looking for the next better job. Literally the day that they arrive on your campus, they're already looking for the next better job. Coaches can nod their head. You understand that's the way it is. It's a profession that sometimes is just very greedy. And so I wanted someone personally that was going to love this place so much. Coach, at one point, it was he and I on a call, and he said the words all-consuming when he was thinking about being here. He didn't say that to impress a committee or anything. He just, in a conversation with him, and I wanted someone that this work, not in a way that penalizes our family at all, because it's not a part of that. And I want him to raise his family around you girls. And I think that's a wonderful gift that we can give him, but also as witnessed by Adam and his beautiful family. It's a great place to raise our kids around, and we want that. Let me just say a couple of other quick things. Michelle, my administrative assistant, was taking great notes during this. So I went back and looked at some of the questions that we asked Coach May and what his response was. When asked, this was Danny's question actually, but when asked for an example of how Trent has integrated his faith into his program, Trent, you said these words, Coach, I'm sorry, you said these words, mission first and people always. Keeping the mission of the program and place first, central to what we do, but keep people, individual people, always at the forefront as well. And I just love that approach. I actually asked this question. I said, if someone saw your team play, what would be the distinguishing attribute from his team? I mean, if anybody just comes to a game and they see a team play next year, or they saw a Grand Canyon team or a Bethany College in Lynchburg, Kansas play, one of Coach's teams, what would they say? And he said, a great culture of togetherness. I'm looking forward to watching and seeing that culture develop, and I know you girls are excited to be a part of that as well. Coach, I'm going to be real honest. You called me on Wednesday last week, and 5 minutes into the conversation, what felt like 55 minutes, I'm convinced that you're getting ready to say, I'm not going to come. Now, I know that maybe sounds a little bit weird to say right now because people want someone that's all in and all those kind of things. I want someone that's going to be really careful to make sure that this is the right thing, because it's not just about what Coach wants, because Angie, who we haven't had a chance to meet yet, but I've heard a lot about you, Grayson and Griffin, they're 10 and 7-year-old, I think I have that right, boys? This is a real important decision for everyone. And so I appreciated that, but literally my mind was going into like, okay, I've got to call the committee back together and all these kind of things because I'm thinking it might be a no. But I can't tell you how tremendously excited I was when you said, I woke up and I had a wonderful peace and knew that this was exactly the right thing to do. So Coach, we're so glad to have you here. I'm going to introduce our university president, our 15th president at Southern Nazarene University, Dr. Keith Newman. Thanks, Coach. I think I called you Coach, but you're Coach too. I'm sorry, but
yeah, they wouldn't let me coach much of anything. But well, good afternoon. It is great to be here. Our mission at Southern Nazarene University is to make Christ-like disciples. It's the most important thing we do, and has been for a long time, and will continue to be. I know that not everybody that comes here to go to school comes as a disciple or even as a follower of Jesus. Our hope and our prayer is that they will when they leave. But I will tell you, every coach that we recruit to come here will be a fully devoted follower of Jesus Christ. So I'm here today really to just say thank you to a number of people. I want to say thank you to Dr. Redwine and to the committee. I think they did a phenomenal job. My 4-year-old, almost 4-year-old granddaughter's in town right now, and I got to take her fishing. She's never been fishing in her life, and you know, 4-year-olds have the attention span of a gnat. But we went fishing, and I've been trying to explain to her. She was really excited about fishing. She wasn't as excited about when we caught the fish and got the fish close to her. That was not a big excitement to her. But I think when you go looking for a new coach, it's a little bit like fishing. You put bait in the water, right? And you don't really know what's going to happen. So when we posted this position, we had no idea that we would have 60 applicants. And I would say that the vast majority of them really were very, very qualified applicants. A few that just, I think, had nothing else to do and decided that they would submit an application. But for the most part, really, really great applicants. And I didn't get to meet any but the 3 finalists. But I will tell you that the 3 finalists were phenomenal finalists, and so I'm thankful for the whole process, the intentionality of the process. We really wanted to get this done before you ladies went home for the summer, because we know that this is a big thing for you. I want to say thanks to Coach Martin and Coach Cooper for kind of hanging in here with us and continuing to work hard and make sure that they're going to go home for the summer all set and ready to go. I want to say thanks to everybody that's here today. Men's basketball team. Way to show up and represent, guys. I appreciate that. I had a chance to be with you guys last Saturday night, celebrating a phenomenal year that you had. And I want to say thanks to the coaches and the administrators, and thanks to some friends of the university that have invested and continue to invest in this place. Very, 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 very grateful. Well, to say that Dr. Redwine was anxious about this decision is probably a bit of an understatement, because the moment that Coach May walked out of my office, Dr. Redwine was in my office and wanted to talk about it. And he said, well, what do you think? Well, you know, I kind of wanted a moment to take a breath and to think about what I had experienced with the 3 candidates, and having just said goodbye to Coach May as he headed out. We began to talk, though, about not only the candidates, but we talked about Southern Nazarene University and where we are at this particular season in our history. And, you know, it didn't take any time at all, and we began to realize, I believe, both of us, along with the committee, that Coach May was the person for this particular time. So I want to say thank you to Angie for saying yes, and Grayson and Griffin. I know they're not here, but I'm looking forward to meeting them, because Coach May told me that, was it Grayson that was crying when you left town because he knew you were going to think about coming to Oklahoma City, or was it Griffin? It was Grayson. It was Grayson. You know, Grayson, I think, was begging his dad, no, we don't want to go to Oklahoma City. We want to stay right here in Phoenix. I will tell you that you're trading the Suns for the Thunder, and well, we think it is, although I'm not quite sure the way the Thunder are playing right now. You know, but yeah, we do believe that there's some good there. When you look at Coach May's resume, it is a really phenomenal resume. a really phenomenal resume. I started getting text messages and emails and phone calls about him the moment the position came open. He had not applied. And quite honestly, when I started getting those phone calls and text messages and emails, I thought, well, that's really nice, but I just don't think that we've got much of a chance at Coach May. And then I actually got to see his resume. Most of you know that he's not only an undergrad of SNU, but also a grad of SNU. 322 win coach, 153 losses. That's a pretty phenomenal record. NAI experience, NCAA Division II experience, NCAA Division I experience. And all of that is really great. But I go back to what I kind of beat the drum about on a pretty regular basis. In fact, I'm sure that you guys will get sick of me talking about this at some point, but it is that whole idea of live, last leadership. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for coaches and faculty and staff members that are drawn to this place because we have chosen to do something that's incredibly countercultural, and that is serve our community, to serve each other, to serve our students. So I will just tell you, it gives me great joy and great pleasure to introduce you our new SNU women's basketball coach, Coach Trent May.
Very special. Surreal, special, exciting. First of all, so many things to go out to, and it's not a list of priorities because they're all a priority. But for the men's basketball team and Coach Adam and what you guys have done, and just your experience this year and showing what this university can be about and what athletics can be about, and done the right way with class and character and great winning. So guys, congratulations. We're behind you, but we're going to pass you. All right, ladies, y'all here? So I'm reading a book right now called The First 90 Days, and by the author of Michael Watkins, and he talks about the transition, how important it is in any organization, your first 90 days. And one of the things that stuck out to me in chapter 1 was literally it's called the break-even point, and that's the point in which you contribute more to your organization than what you consume from it. And this is the part I'm going to try not to get emotional about, because this organization, I don't know if I'll ever be able to give as much as I consume from it. And so many incredible people, so many lifelong friends, and one of them is not here today, but introduced me to my amazing wife. She's incredible. She is the best head coach anyone could ask for, because I'm definitely her assistant. So very thankful for her, thankful for all her support, because coming here is not an easy decision. We have complete peace, and we're thankful, and we're blessed for the opportunity. It wasn't easy because we have a phenomenal life in Phoenix. When you have when your boys are, they do it for me. Pretty special. So they will be here, and they don't know that they're going to love it yet. Although, just to share this real quickly so we can get this out of the bag, because I think it's important, plus I'm going to say something that hopefully you guys will laugh out, so I'll stop crying, is that my oldest, I grew up in Texas, and I was, in my formal years, I grew up spent a little time in Austin before San Antonio, and I became a Longhorn fan. So that's a fact of life. That's too bad. So I've already accepted the job, so there's nothing y'all can do about that. And but my oldest somehow is, well, we know how, but he is, that's what happens when your team's no good for the last century. And but he is a Sooner fan. And people ask, well, how in the world does he wear his OU hat, his OU socks, his OU shirt all the time without being washed a whole lot? And he wears them, and he's proud of it. And people are like, how is that possible? And it's because my wife and I practice unconditional love in our home. So that's the best response, and that's the only way we can. But so when he understands that he might be able to go to not just SNU camps and that kind of stuff, but if he goes to Lincoln Riley football camp, then life may just be back in the correct form in which it should be. So little things like that. But Dr. Newman, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for allowing me to be back of rich tradition and great history and where this university is going. We're super excited for you and your leadership and the people you put around you, and we know that's not going to stop there. So great things are ahead, not just for women's basketball and all athletics, but the university. And Dr. Redwine, your committee was phenomenal. I love the opportunity to just engage with each of them. And sometimes when you go through the interview process, sometimes you just get some random questions that you just kind of wonder whether they put any thought behind it whatsoever. And I really appreciated all the questions your committee asked. So thank you, the committee members that are here. They were really like sound, and they just weren't just to ask a question. There was a lot of procedure behind them and thought, and so I appreciated the whole process. I appreciated the communication, and just you guys followed through. And every time you said you guys were going to do something, you did, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you. So, Coach Martin, you'll always be coach to me. Appreciate you and just the fact that you believed in me after knowing me a long time ago. That's the definition of grace. And so we thank you for that. I thank you for that, and it's a blessing to be part of your athletic department, so thank you. Coach McGrady, invested in me, buddy. Paid off. So that's what coaching is about. It's not just the up and down on the court or field or that kind of stuff. It's what you can do in people's lives, and I get to return the favor, hopefully multiple times over, exponentially more because of just a little time. But everything, like I told our players yesterday, every rep counts and it matters. And so thank you so much for your investment in my life. So and to the people who are here, from friends that are lifelong friends that mean the world to me, you guys still invest in me. And that's beyond appreciated. And that's the part, ladies, again, when you're here, guys, fellas as well, you can make some lifelong friends here. Friends that will have your back for the right reasons and that will be part of your lives forever. And that's a great thing. That's a true friend. So enjoy that. I hope you guys embrace that. I hope you appreciate it. If you haven't yet, hopefully, I know one day you'll be in a place like this and be able to say things like that, and it'll matter and it's important. So, but Kathy League, I know you're important as well. And I'm thankful you're still here because it's great to see your smile and just your kind heart and just your servant attitude and everything you've done is just remembered, and I appreciate it. So it's good to be part of your staff as well, because I know you're kind of the brains of this organization. So we thank you for that. And people who got to watch great basketball teams on the floor, Mr. Pence's, when back in the day when you saw some phenomenal athletes and phenomenal players, but more importantly, you saw some phenomenal teams. And so we look forward to just a few months down the road that you're going to be seeing that again. And so I appreciate you when you walked in today. That was an honor, and so I appreciate it. My uncle is here as well. Great surprise. He's fighting, tough battle going on right now, but thank you for showing up when hard to get up here. And I appreciate you showing up today, so thank you for that. So, and if I miss anybody, I apologize, but again, before I conclude, I just can't thank my wife enough and her support, and just, and ladies, we'll try not to, Coach Cooper, she's a great baker. I know that's not the best for the girls, but they're gonna, so extra work today, okay? So she's phenomenal, maybe not extra, she's phenomenal. So you'll get to love her, and you'll get to know her, and you'll get to see that what unconditional love is about. It's not about your performance ever, nor is it mine, but she'll just love you because of who you are. And that's a cool thing that that she gets to come alongside me and be a part of my staff. So Coach Martin, Coach Cooper, thank you for being the glue for this team over these last couple of weeks and just making sure that they are where they're supposed to be and doing what they're supposed to be doing. I appreciate that a lot, and I hope the players, like I said yesterday, I hope you guys appreciate that because they've invested, and every investment and every rep counts. So. And this whole process, and it's amazing because I'm fortunate to be standing up here today with so many friends, family, and just opportunity right in front of our future. But all of this, everything we're doing today, this whole reason there's press conferences for you guys. It's not for me. I mean, for the introduction is, but this is for you guys, for you ladies. And I hope you guys understand that, how important it is that they're looking for someone to lead you guys and to make the culture around here, just not what it's about with Southern Nazarene, but just about you guys and how important it is that you guys know that you're cared about, that you're loved, that you're going to be hopefully different. That we're never going to be the same once we start. And I'm so looking forward to it. And I thank you for hanging in there. That I know of to this day. I don't think anyone's transferred. I don't think anyone said, hey, enough of this. We don't know what's going on. We're out of here. Could have been easy to do in this day and age when people like to defect a whole lot. So I appreciate you guys are still here. You're still swinging. You're still trying to do your very best. And yesterday's workout was just a small glimpse, but I loved it. You know, got to see a lot of enthusiasm, got to see smiles. And that's rare because you guys could have had a completely different attitude. So I appreciate what you guys have done. And I'm super excited to be with y'all. So it's an honor. So thank you guys for hanging in there. And thanks for all that you've done. So God's good, and I'm thankful, and I'm ready for the future. I'm ready to lead, and I'm ready. Oh, I can't wait to get back on that floor. But in the meantime, so we will. There's not enough thanks again to go around this room, and if I left anybody out, I apologize. But it's an honor and it's a privilege, and I'm thankful for the opportunity, and I pray that the Lord uses this as for His glory and no one else's. So, thank you.